You want to price profitably? Well, you sure as shit better have a system for estimating. That's what we're going to be covering off today on today's Tradie Tip. So welcome to today's Tradie Tip. If you're, in your office looking at this video right now, you're going to see me drawing out 5 different blocks. We're going to be going into the 5 key steps for you to systemize in your estimating process. But first and foremost, why do we need to go about doing that? Because you cannot change what you don't measure. You need to keep a scoreboard, guys, on how you estimate, how you're progressing to estimating versus what's going out in the field. Otherwise, you're going to be running your business blind. Okay. So that's a key principle. You cannot change. I'll say it one more time. You cannot change what you don't measure. All right. So let's get into these 5, not 10, not 20, 5 key steps to systemizing your estimating process. Step number 1, you've got to have a digital form. Now, why do you need to have a digital form? You've got to have a digital form because you got to have a place to put the information, not on sticky notes, okay? Not written on a napkin, but we've got to have a place to put it. That way we can look at it, other people can look at it. Step number 2, what do we got to look at? We've got to calculate what is called our break even. Okay, our break even includes various different things like our overhead expenses, okay? Our labor burden, which is what percentage above what we pay our guys, do we have to include, as an expense when we're going and quoting these jobs? Because if we don't include these 2 things beyond just our material costs, the number of hours that the guys are going to be, doing the job for, we are missing out on a huge chunk of the expenses that we need to cover, that we need to add to our estimates. Otherwise, we're not going to be profitable. We're not even going to be able to break even. Break even, by the way, is just doing it for nothing. Okay. So we first of all got to determine what our break even point is. And that's super critical. If you don't get that right, don't move on to the next step. Next, we got to determine what is our profit. As far as markup, some of you guys might do it, with markup or margin. Today, we're going to talk about markup. You got to add to your break even. What percentage are we looking at putting on our break even so that we're actually making money? And I would highly suggest that you put on to your break even approximately, 30 to 35% bare minimum. That way you're making a good amount of money on the jobs that you're doing. Because guess what? Why are we doing this? We're pricing jobs to make sure that we're what? That we're profitable, because our profits pay for our freedom, right? Step number 4, we need to track when, not after the job is done, because then you can't change anything. You need to track real time, okay? The progress of these jobs against how it was estimated so that you know whether or not you're on or off track. And the last but not least, okay, is we need to compare. We need to compare the what actually happened out in the field versus, let me just delete this, the actual versus the estimated. Okay, so that we can feed back to the beginning of this to ensure that we're always improving and moving our business and our pricing to become more and more profitable, more efficient. Okay. So those are the 5 steps. Number 1, got to have a digital form, someplace to put it. Number 2, you got to have your break even so you know how much you got to cover your overhead expenses beyond just your labor, just beyond your material. We got to look at our labor burden, and we have to also look at, our, overhead as well. Number 3, we got to look at what are we going to put on this job? So, how much money do we want to make, which is called our profit markup. Number 4, we got to track real time so that we can make adjustments so that we stay on track, not off track, get back on track, stay on track, and move our jobs forward to profitability. Number 5, we got to compare actual versus estimated, and that cycle continues. Those are the 5 steps. Make it happen. This is another trading tip from Profit for Contractors. Again, I'm Andrew Houston, founder and owner of Profit for Contractors. I will see you on the flip side. Ciao. Hey Rockstar, if this video resonated with you at all and you want a proven plan and pathway to take your contracting business to the next level with me and my team of experts, click the link below and apply for a free 50-minute pathway to profits call.